Okay, now this case is absolutely heartbreaking, and my deepest sympathy goes out to the family involved. Now, I'm not here to make excuses for rapists and killers, but you need to understand we are not alone and we were never alone. Right? We are in the midst of a spiritual war, and unfortunately, if you do not pay attention, then you will become a casualty, right? And quite a lot of individuals report on this case, and it is like a joke to them, right? This can happen to anyone, right? Understand that we are all just a stroke away from being possessed by demonic entities and then go on to commit some evil, cruel crime. Right? So this is not a joke. This is a time when we need to make our spiritual leaders accountable, because they should have been more on the job to recognize what is happening. Right? Now we have a situation where a grandmother, a so-called church-going grandmother, right? And these people were unaware of what is happening to this woman's grandson, that such a horrible thing happens to her. Now we have headline from the Mail Online, and it is published on the 30th of March 2022 by a Chris Matthews. Headline: Cocaine addict, killer 31 strangled his 76-year-old church-going grandmother to death shortly after she beat COVID, then had sex with her corpse twice. Understand that this individual, he was possessed. Now, this is not the type of thing you can tell your judge, you can tell your lawyers. This is not the type of thing you can go into court and state. But understand, this is not normal behavior, right? You don't strangle your grandmother and then turn around and have sex with the dead corpse. That is a typical example of someone that is possessed. Now, a lot of people out there think that demonic possession involves someone climbing on the wall, their head spinning around, and all of that jazz. But not in every case. Right? Not in every case you'll get demonic possession that you can physically see like that. Right? Now, this individual, it is reported he is a cocaine addict. So, by being a cocaine addict, it lowers its frequency. So, these demonic entities are able to take over. Right? And demonic entities, they like to rape, they like sex, they like to kill. They are nasty and perverted. Right? Let's get into some of the story. Donovan Miller choked Phyllis Grant, 76, in her home in Plaistow, East London. The 31-year-old then had sex with the body of Miss Grant, who was his grandmother. He later told paramedics, "I raped her as well," following her death in March of 2021. A judge sentenced Miller to an indefinite hospital order with restrictions. Absolutely sad. It never needed to happen. Right? It never needed to happen. And it goes to show you that the individuals that call themselves pastors and ministers and various religious leaders, they have completely dropped the ball. Right? This woman is a church goer, and you're telling me that none of her church members or her church brothers and sisters couldn't identify the spiritual warfare going on around their church sister? And this is why I'm no longer in the church, because they serve no purpose. Let's continue. A killer who strangled his grandmother to death before twice having sex with her corpse will remain in hospital indefinitely, the Old Bailey heard. Donovan Miller, 31, choked 76-year-old Phyllis Grant and beat her over the head with a vase at their shared home in Kent Street, Plaistow, East London. The deprived attacker then had sex with her body, the court heard. The judge sentenced Miller to an indefinite hospital order with restriction. Now, this is where she went wrong. Absolutely wrong. She have this individual sharing her home that is involved with cocaine. And she's supposedly a churchgoer. And being someone that is supposed to be highly religious, she could not spot that her own grandson was possessed by a demon. It is a skill that a lot of people don't have. Because when we talk about demonic possession, people is expecting to see someone climb the wall, their head spinning around, just like in the movies. That is not the case all the time. Right? That is not the case. You have people who are possessed by demons. And when we say demonic possession, they come in various levels. Right? Now, this one is quite a dangerous possession. When you're going to kill someone, then rape the corpse, it's really bad. This is not a lower level demonic possession. Right? And it is so sad that it had to reach to this level. No one could have spotted what was happening, right? I am not making excuses, but the Bible did tell us we wrestle not with flesh and blood, right? And we don't seem to understand. We underestimate the times we are living in. Right? Ephesians 6 verses 12 says, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly place. Right? Understand, we are not alone. Right? We are not alone. And if you are not careful, these demonic entities will possess you as well. There is quite a lot of low vibrational activities that people take part in, and they don't know that it lowers their frequency for demons to enter their mind and their bodies. Right? And I will have to put a list out of the various activities that we do, some innocently, and we don't know that it can lower our frequency. Right? This is not a joke, and I'm not making excuses for rapists and murderers, but understand we are not alone, and this is not an ordinary crime. I am so sorry that it had to reach to this. Right? Someone should have spotted what was going on, because this individual lived with his grandmother, and someone should have spotted that he was possessed. Right? And that is why I'm not with the church. Right? They allow too much to happen. Too much to happen. No, we need to pray and seek the Most High while He can be found. Let us say, glory be to the Most High.